Welcome to Big Talk on Global TV. We are in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, following the defection of former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi from the People's Democratic Party. He's joining the Labour Party on May 27, 2022, and his eventual emergence as the presidential candidate of the LP. Politics and politicking in Nigeria witnessed a remarkable evolution in ways that are, to put it conservatively, drastic and unprecedented. Soon after that move, the obedient movement came on the scene, threw their weight full throttle behind the presidential flag bearer of the party and stirred Nigeria's political waters before, during, and after the elections. Going into the general election, the Labour Party recorded an all-time success at the polls, even though Peter Obi lost the bid to grab the keys to Aso Rock Villa, Nigeria's seat of power. However, fast forward to post-election events, the Labour Party, as it is the case with political parties in Nigeria, has seen and is still witnessing fierce division in its ranks. Litigation after litigation, the party is seen by many as having lost its grit and focus, attributes that characterized the Labour Party going into the country's last round of elections. Today, Peter Obi is facing accusations of discrepancies in his credentials, a development that has further exacerbated the acrimony that now defines the party that was born out of the so-called third force. To share insight from an insider perspective on these controversies, I'm joined by Abayomi Arambabi, National Publicity Secretary of the Lamidia Papa-led faction of the party. I'm Uyag Mofwegwe. Thank you for joining us. I'd like to say thank you for coming. It's been a big day for you. You've been busy, but you made the sacrifice to join us here. We do not take it for granted. Let's cut right straight to the chase. Sometime in May last year, when Peter Obi moved to your party, the Labour Party, he did say that he had found a route to fulfilling. I'm not quoting him, I'm paraphrasing. He had found a route to fulfilling the purpose that he had for Nigeria the whole time. He said it was going to be a rancor-free route for him. But what we have seen in your party in the last couple of months has been nothing but rancor. Today, your party is divided into two factions, the Abore faction and the Apapa Lamidi faction. Talk to us about those developments.
Well, thank you very much. I've been issued there was not, we are not expecting any faction in the party when Peter Obi came, because we trusted him, regarding to his promises. But you see, the rift actually started sometimes in October last year, when the names of members of the campaign council was released. We found out that the DG was a Yoruba man, that Dr. Doyokugwe. Then the deputy was from Imo. The campaign manager was from Anambra. The treasurer was from Anambra. The general secretary was from Anambra. And this was where we began to depart from each of ideology. We called him to order, but it seems he had this sudden, he's just trying to immunize or Anambra-lize our party, which didn't go that way with some of the founding fathers. I spent 15 years in Labour Party, and I think he also did well in APGA. In PDP, he will not come to Labour Party for whatever reasons. When we protested, he said there's no need. He said, let's be comfortable with those people. We told him, no, this is not an Igbo party. This is the Pan-Nigerian party. Where you are coming from, can you ever try that with them? In APGA, you cannot even try it with them. You see, have a Southerner as your national chairman before the other position goes to North, the East, and the West. So that was how in fact, that was the genesis of the whole crisis. It was just because of his attempt to immunize and Anambra-lize Labour Party.
And all of this was before the election?
Yes, before the election. So, they said they would do the right thing, and certain changes will be made. We believe them. Then, deception stepped in. We continue with our primary, substitution. But along the line, Abure got himself a match, in changing the names of already public candidates of our party in some federal constituencies, territorial constituencies. It was when INEC released the final list of candidates for election that some of our candidates came to complain to us that, oh, our name had been changed. We told them, this man said you people are the one that we do. He said, no, we did not. He did it on his own volition. So we went to INEC. Can you please provide us? Because when you are going to substitute a candidate, he will do two things. He will formally write a letter of withdrawal to the national chairman, then affidavit of withdrawal of candidate. He will do it, which he will take to court, and affidavit, you go and swear to an oath that I am the one that is leaving this thing. INEC now supplied us with the document. We now send it to court. It was when court now responded that those documents were forged with the certified true copy. We now proceeded to police. We filed a petition before the police that we never expect this kind of, malfeasance and executive rascality. We expected Peter Obi to, as president candidate of the party, he had committed an infraction that they wanted to cover. When this one happened, we called a meeting. Okay, what are we going to do? He said we should leave them. Until when he won an election, we said no. This is just too much of a thing for us to swallow. And that was how the NWC was divided up to today. Because those of us who want a better Nigeria, we debated for Peter Obi and Aburi. Because we knew the administration they want to form is going to be built around fraudulent activities. A president candidate will not tell us to accept a man who forged three things: the seal of the Justice of Court 24 in the FCT, the signature and stamp of Commissioner for Oath, and more dangerously, Abure produced his own treasury single account receipt for the court. As if to say he paid through remitter. And he didn't. But when the court now wrote through Formula Law that, this letter, this affidavit did not emanate from our court, please. It was forged by the ordinator. That was how we started. And up to today, Obi never saw anything wrong. We now proceeded to police. When police now carry out their forensic investigation, Abure was indicted. Then we went to court. And the FCT court restrained Abure from parading himself as national chairman of the party. Unfortunately, again, for the third time, Peter Obi said no, we should not recognize that court order. So we decided that let's do away with this man. A lot of people came on board and said, okay, let us go into the election, let us go to the election, we should just calm down. All of us voted for him. But since we don't have our way in the election, due to one, Peter Obi did something that is very funny that I've never seen in an election cycle. We were supposed to upload, in line with the Electoral Act and directive for INEC, 185,000 polling unit agents with their photograph, signature, and biodata. We uploaded just 130 something. We left the remaining. Of the 130 something remaining that we uploaded, we did not present anyone for election. No party agent of Labour Party were mobilized for that election, on that election day. They just left the whole place on autopilot. We went to the election on autopilot. And when the result came out, you can see the abysmal performance that we have to go to court without any agent. We went to court. The guy just threw away our opportunity. We went to court. We called agents. We called witnesses from outside. Not even one was from Labour Party. And look at how the court trashed our petition. So that was what happened. But rather for him to now be cool and be sober, to say sorry to the leaders of Labour Party, he now joined Atiku Abubakar in their, the judicial expedition to be laying accusation and counter accusation. And when Atiku came back, what actually got annoyed was Atiku calling on Labour Party and the NNPP to join him. And he came out to say, no, I am not going to. We also came out to say, okay, your position is not our position, but we will still restate one thing, that we are not PDP, we are not joining Atiku in pursuance of it. You know, these alleged discrepancies in the CSU, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, diploma. And unfortunately, again, 4 days after Alhaji Atiku Abubakar did the press conference, Obi also went to do his own, where he now alleged that it's pain that somebody in the office of the president will forge his signature, will forge a certificate, you know, will be of such a nuisance value in that highest position in the land, and, you know, stylishly asking the president to resign or step aside. He did not even call him president, but just saying Chief Bola Tinubu. But he did say he drew his own on Labour Party. He did that press conference on behalf of Labour Party. That was our departure. We now came out to say, no, you are not doing it on behalf of Labour Party. Because ab initio, I took part in a screening of Mr. Peter Obi. He told us he went to the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. I cannot forget. He told us, you know, he was mobilized for youth service and he completed it. He told us the secondary school he attended and also, you know, a birth certificate. But when we are submitting the Form C9, when he submitted it to us, he only made available copy of his school cert there. I demanded, because, you know, we just have a day to the end of the nomination process for presidential candidate. So we were in a hurry to make sure at least let that form goes in first, so that other things can now follow. And he promised to make, you know, the entire certificate available up to today. You see, promised the press is going to bring it. So that was why we on our own. Now it's okay. If this is the case, you got a log of wood in your eye, you are asking somebody with a speck in his eyes to know that, look, come, let me remove the speck. What about the log of wood in your eye? Because this holier than thou, coming out to become a pope, coming out to become, you know, a regional evangelist, that will now be campaigning to the whole world that Nigeria now, all of us have been, you know, looked at as a fraudster, as a forger, you know, people with questionable character. As Nigerians, I'm a Nigerian. So we came out back to him that, look, Oga, you did not even submit all your certificates, and let us point this out to you, that you are asking the president for his identity. He should go and address Nigeria. We are not interested in that. For us, we don't know whether the president has issues or not. But for you, you have an issue because you are from our own. You are on a false identity, which have been able, under their papa, let them receive, to prove out today that Obi is using the identity of his dead brother. So
what's your faction of the party saying to Mr. Peter Obi as of today, that he should leave the party, or should just allow this whole matter around the president's certificates to slide?
No. He should come out and tell Nigerians, when you
he should address the discrepancies or the allegations over his own credentials.
Let us come out clean first. Let us come out clean, because he who must come to equity, you must come with a clean hand. That's the maxim. So he has come to equity with a very soiled and dirty hand, and that negates that principle of natural justice. We are now asking him, Oga, please come to equity, but let your hand be clean.
But as far as this allegation goes, don't you? I say it's allegation. I'm using that advisedly because we cannot here at Global TV independently verify all of this. However, wait to be true in the final analysis. Don't you think those of you who screened him, regardless of the excuse that it was just a few days to the window shorten in terms of ANEC procedure,
we are not
I mean, you should have done due diligence.
No, we are not culpable. You see, when you say you have something,
right,
and you feel it in your form, nobody will believe he doesn't have.
Okay.
Now, he presented the minimum requirement, which is the school start. And he said, okay, you know, he left PDP on the 26th. Then, on his way to Labour Party. On the completion of that now, he presented his school start to us. Which,
and that would have been sufficient.
That would have been sufficient. But I had expected him, once he know their issues, he shouldn't have feel university attended with it. He shouldn't. He shouldn't have feel it there. He should have said, okay, I attended Our Lady of Apostle, Northern Primary School, attended a Glorious Secondary School. Simple. If our constitution allow anybody that has worked for 10 years or more, they say it is equivalent. Because, we have imbalance in the educational system of Nigeria, right from the word go. So some people cannot be advantaged while they put some people on disadvantage. That's why they say that, it's normal. Because it's not everything that is about education. We need knowledge. Education and knowledge are two different things. Anybody that has education without knowledge will also go there to fail because the will to serve his country will not be there.
Right.
You understand? So what we are asking him on behalf of Labour Party is this: he should come and clean. Because what we saw in the certificate, for God's sake, pass. Look at how many F9 we have in that thing. I was not the one that posted those certificates. It was Oseloka, his SNG, that posted those certificates. When I went on air to say he doesn't have it, we have it already. But we want them to be the one that will push it into the public view. And Oseloka now posted those 3 certificates, which is good for us. So he's not going to deny. Then we now made photocopy. I can tell you now, if you check most of those bloggers, he has removed some of them from it. He has directed them to remove it, but we are smarter than him. We made photocopy. Then we now came to the press. Now, let me be frank with you. In your university, who mobilizes you for NYC? Is it you or the school that will confirm whether you have graduated or not?
Of course, by standard, that's the school.
The school. The school are the one that normally did that for us. They will write your name, send the name of all the successful graduates, not people that have maybe 1 or 2 carryover, whether first or second semester.
Or admission issues.
Admission issue. Once you have cleared, you are not owing money, you are not doing anything, they will send your name. I expected that the name on that certificate from the Nigerian University of University of Nigerian Suka is expected to be the name that they will write on the NYC certificate. But it was different.
I want to talk to you about this because it will appear this is one issue around certificates, credential discrepancy too many. We've been saying this right from the days of Salisu Buhari and so on and so forth. As of today, we have seen many more cases than we can readily count. Is it not time that, I'm just asking your opinion here, that political parties should take the pain and the time, if possible, put in the resources to ensure that they do background checks around the authenticity or otherwise of the certificates of their candidates? It's becoming so embarrassing for the parties and the country.
For all of us, this is an eye-opener. Anybody that wants to run for an election now, I think there is need for a thorough background check now, providing the academic qualification. So those that doesn't have it, if it's your school start, fine. We have had a president in this country who is a professor. We have vice president who is a professor in this country. We have ministers that have double honors. Yet we were wallowing in abject poverty. Do you know what? It's not because of the education. The will to serve the country is not there. The will to serve. Anybody can have 3 PhD. If they don't have the will to serve, they will bastardize the economy. Because how do you explain where we have a professor as our vice president and Nigeria was borrowing 95%? We are using 95% of our income to service debt, to service, not to pay, to service debt. We will now go to the market, money market to now go and raise money. We are now printing money, just to make sure. We patch everything up. Inflation now goes astronomically. That's not education. It is just the will to serve. Until when we have leaders who will take the bull by the horn, Nigeria will still continue, to crawl.
I want to talk to you about some of the things that happened. The timeline leading into the election and even all around the campaign period, right? There was so much of followership. Some people say it was a cult-like followership for Labour Party. That was when we started hearing things like obedience movements and so on and so forth. So much of traction your party found at that time, more than any other time in its history. Today, we don't seem to see that. It has obviously dissipated. Does it not look like your Labour Party has now thrown all of that support and goodwill away?
No. A president has been elected. It's normal in Nigeria or in any state. Once a winner has been declared, and you are moving toward the end of, litigations, you understand? Everybody, will just become docile later to come out to say, oh, let us now rearrange ourselves. The obedient are Nigerians who believe in our capacity to provide that leadership change. We said, oh, there have been malgovernance, there have been malfeasance, there have been institutional slavery, you know, there have been corruption, endemic corruption, and they now felt that, oh, this party is not PDP, this party is not APC. They should be able, you know, to tackle with tendon. I am telling you, I know people who are preparing to run as a president candidate in 2027 because some of them call and say they never believe we could deviate a little from APC and PDP to expose corruption among ourselves. That they never believe it. And that they are happy for that definitely Nigeria has a hope in the near future. And this was what some of us are saying that, no, we said, no, let's leave it, let's cover it. No, if we continue, then we are not different from PDP and APC. I want to change because there should be a reason why you say you want to run for president. You believe those people, their capacity, where intended, you have a better momentum to turn things around. I think that's the essence of election. Because if the person there, you feel the person there is doing absolutely well, then why do you want to change him? Except if the person has completed, 2 terms of 80 years. But if somebody, you know, is not struggling to say, oh, I want to be this, you went on campaign, you told Nigerians, oh, I have the power to change the economy from consumption to production here and there. But underneath, you understand, underneath, you have some other atrocities that you say you want to cover things because, oh, let us get there. Let us get there first before we will now come and take this fire off our bushel. It will burn.
I followed a bit of your press conference earlier today. I mean, where you talked about, you called on the DSS and the police, correct me if I'm wrong, to prosecute Mr. Peter Obi based on these weighty allegations that your faction of the Labour Party has advanced around him. Some persons, as expected...
It's not because of that.
Yeah, I'm going to come to that. But some persons will feel Mr. Peter Obi is being vilified for whatever reason by his own people within his party. But let's talk about where your party was prior to when Peter Obi joined. It will appear he is the poster boy of your party, if you like, the brand elements in it. So if we remove Peter Obi as a factor from the equation, where does Labour Party stand?
Peter Obi was a political minus when Mimiko won election. 3 months from PDP, he moved to Labour Party and he became governor. Peter Obi was nowhere to be found. We have won senatorial election in this country.
But have you ever recorded as much success all through? No, have you? Let's be clear. Have you?
It was because
compared to 2023,
there have been institutionalized slavery. Nigerians are tired of stagnancy. And they just find us, you know, at the right place. So people should not tell us, oh, Labour Party have been dead and there's no Labour Party for the way Peter became. No, that's assertion very wrong. When we won the president, is he a politician then? Is he a politician? He's not a politician. Then, he was busy doing the business. So for him to now come out and say, oh, if not me, now we will wait for him. Let him go to another party and try it again.
Okay.
Let us see, you know, how far he will go, because we know he will not run under Labour Party 2027.
I want to say a big thank you to you for coming to join us this evening on the program to talk about all of these issues around the Labour Party. And we do wish your party very well. And more importantly, we wish that Nigeria becomes a great country that it was designed to be from the word go. Thank you once again for coming to share insights.
Thank you very much.
And that's our program, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Muya Gumofwebe. I'll see you again.